There's a lot of convergence going on in the tech world today, and I'm not just talking about the deal between Yahoo and Tumblr. Here to talk about it is Bob Lord. He's the CEO of Razorfish and the author of this new book, Converge. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for having me in.
All right, so before we talk about the book, and we will talk about the book, what's your view of the Yahoo-Tumblr deal?
Yeah, no, actually, I believe from an advertiser perspective that the combination of Yahoo and Tumblr is a great deal for advertisers, because what it does is it actually gives a consolidated property for an advertiser to go to Yahoo and figure out a different canvas and getting to customers in a very different way. So I'm pretty excited about it from an advertiser perspective.
Well, certainly it's a make or break move for Marissa Mayer, but will it break her like MySpace or will it make her like Facebook?
Yeah, you know, I think Tumblr has a really unique audience that she's captured. And I actually believe that the Tumblr canvas and how you can actually do creativity with images is very different than anything to compare to either a Facebook or to a MySpace. So I actually believe that she'll be able to use that property in a very different way. So when brands are trying to go out and talk about themselves, imagery is a really big hot topic right now. So I actually believe that the Tumblr space will give her that sort of canvas for her advertisers that she hasn't had before.
Well, let's talk about marketing. In your book, Converge, you talk about bringing the IT and marketing departments together under one roof.
Yeah.
Why is this a smart move to bring these together?
Yeah, so if you think about the world and what's happened in the last, even let's say, a year and a half, what we're finding is our clients are not living in their silos anymore. What's happening, in order to do effective marketing, you have to think about creativity, you have to think about media, and you have to think about technology simultaneously in order to activate a successful experience in a campaign. So no longer can you go out and say, I promise you that I will deliver on the following. Your brand has to be much more than a promise. What it has to be, you have to move your brand into brand reality. So when we think about Nike, we don't think about Nike as a sneaker company, which is what it does. We think about Nike as a running company. And what Nike's been effective in its campaign, I think probably one of the better examples, is taking a brand promise and actually activating it through technology and experiences that have actually made us think about Nike as a running company. And I think more and more brands have to do that. And the only way you get to do that is when the CMO and the CTO talk to one another. If they live in their own silos, which they've been able to do for years and years, you actually can't really activate on that.
Well, Nike certainly just does it. But within that particular corporate structure, should somebody report to someone else? Should the CMO report to the tech or the tech report to the CMO? I know you're saying that they should converge and get together.
Yeah.
But if you bring them all together, who makes the final decision?
Yeah. So I think we have to think about technology in a couple of different layers. When we think about technology, when we talk about production systems and we talk about automobile production lines, I think there is a particular skill set that a CIO needs to have. We're not talking about that kind of technology. What we're talking about is technology to enable the brand. So when you start thinking about advertising on Facebook, or how do you integrate LinkedIn or Instagram, that's a very different layer of technology. But technology, the CMO has to be aware of that technology. So when you start talking about reporting relationships, I think it's better to talk about roles of accountability. So the role of how do we actually express the brand needs to have technology expertise in with the CMO. I've actually seen CMOs come from traditional IT, whether it's commerce or whether it's Oracle SAP implementations, and they've actually come into the marketing department with a view around technology. That view of technology and how you think about marketing starts to skew how you actually approach the consumer and how you interact with the consumer.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you for watching The Street.